Hey guys, back with another video, a short one this time, a first impressions video of sorts on Fatal Frame 5 Maiden of Blackwater for the Wii U, and no physical copy to hold up rather, because in North America we didn't get shit. We got this game as a digital only eShop release, and I know a lot of people are pissed off about that. And yeah, I can understand why. Like Europe, Nintendo of Europe decided to give like this amazing special edition of this game, a really cool looking special edition. Well, meanwhile in North America we get shit, we get squat. We get an overpriced digital release of this game, especially in Canada, which I'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, Devil's Third for the Wii U. That game's getting a physical release here in North America. A game that is supposed to be absolute shit. And for Fatal Frame, we just get an eShop release. So yeah, I know a lot of people are really disappointed by that, and yeah, I definitely can understand why. Now there's actually a demo version, like a trial version of sorts for this, which is what I played. Now the Fatal Frame series is a series that I know a lot of people are. There's a lot of people that are big fans of this series. I've played the first game. I played it as a part of like a horror game marathon. I think it's like 2 years back now, and honestly, I didn't actually like that game that much. Like the concept of like using a camera to defeat ghosts. I think that's a really neat concept. But it's one of those things where it's always felt so gamey to me. And it's the same thing with this game too, where it's a horror game, yet I don't find it scary because you're using a camera to destroy ghosts. Like and you're aiming this camera around with the Wii U Gamepad, and you're shooting these ghosts. Some admittedly creepy ghost designs, like the enemy designs in the series, have always been really creepy, but the fact that you're using a camera to defeat them, like, to me, removes a lot of the tension. Now, like, the camera battles can be quite hectic and chaotic, but I don't know, it's so hard for me to not look at it in like a really gamey way, and it kind of ruins actually a lot of the amazing atmosphere this series has. And I'm kind of like echoing my thoughts on like the first Fatal Frame, but I think it applies to this one as well. It's just I don't find it scary. A lot of people do, and I do like the atmosphere in this series, but like I don't know, it's just not a scary series to me. But where to start with this? This video is not going to be too long, but I guess we'll start with like the story. I guess you play as, I think, 3 protagonists in the actual game. In this trial version, you only play as 1, but it takes place in one setting, and it's a really interesting setting. It's a fictional mountain. I can't remember the name. Mount Hakami, I think, in Japan, and this is like this mountain that's known for a large amount of suicides. And this just brings to mind the forest in Japan, the real-life forest. I forget what it's called, but there's a documentary on it, like a Vice documentary, a short little documentary on YouTube that I would highly recommend. But it's apparently a popular suicide spot in Japan, and that to me is an inherently creepy thing, an inherently disturbing thing. And I think that's a fantastic setting for a Fatal Frame game, but then you have the supernatural angle. Of course, you're fighting ghosts. You've got to have like a supernatural angle to all of these games, this one included. And when you have like this setting where like suicides are common, and then you just add a supernatural slant to things, that immediately ruins any kind of like creepiness to me, and like disturbing aspect to it. As soon as you start adding supernatural elements, that's when I become less interested. But that said, it's still kind of interesting, and I liked all like the notes. Like you're going throughout this environment, and you're finding notes of people that have like committed suicide, and a lot of these notes are really disturbing. But then anytime like the supernatural stuff comes in, I'm like, damn, like I don't know. I get like that's the appeal with this series. That's Fatal Frame in a nutshell. You got to be willing to go along with the supernatural stuff. But I've talked about this before. I've never been a fan of like supernatural horror or supernatural anything in movies, TV, video games. It's just never appealed to me. I can't. I don't know. It's just not something that is scary to me. But this game, from the demo I've played, the atmosphere is great. Like, and I have to mention like the visuals in this demo, or I might as well just say Fatal Frame 5. Like the visuals are spectacular. Like really, like the environment is absolutely amazing. The character models are like really nicely detailed. You've got like rain coming down, and your costume is getting wet. Which that I'll talk about that a bit. That's a weird part of the game, but like it's a gorgeous game. It's probably one of the best looking Wii U games. The audio design is top notch too. Like all the sounds the Ghosts makes are like it really like the audio design is really top notch. Really creepy stuff. I guess getting into the gameplay, you know, it's similar from what I've seen of Fatal Frame 1, but you're using the gamepad to kind of aim around and take pictures, which is great. This game makes great use of the Wii U gamepad, and you know you're kind of like, you know, shooting the ghosts to kind of defeat them, and you're trying to aim properly. And if they're in the middle of an attack, you can do your Fatal Frame attack, which does more damage. There's like a shutter. What do they call it? Shutter frame or something attack where, like, they have like these orbs that fly out of the ghosts, and if you can get a bunch of these orbs and the ghost in your shot and take the picture, you'll do more damage. And you're supposed to try to, if you have multiple ghosts attacking you, you have to kind of get a bunch of the orbs and the ghosts all in one shot. Again, like I mentioned before, this is all really gamey, and it kind of almost like feels like a first-person shooter in a way, but not really, I guess, with the Wii U gamepad. But I don't know. I find like the ghost battles in this game, and this was a kind of an issue I had with the Fatal Frame, the original. It's just kind of irritating. I'm just kind of taken out of the experience. Like I'm you know, exploring this environment, and it's really creepy, and I'm reading these notes, and I'm taking in all the visuals and sounds, and it's great. It's top notch. And then a ghost comes, and it's creepy for a second, and you know, the ghost design is really creepy. And then you take out your camera, and you're like, you know, like kind of getting your distance away from him, or from the ghost, and like trying to take picture of these ghosts. And then it's like, oh, I'm playing a video game here, and it's just, I don't know, the immersion, it just breaks for me. And it's, you know, it's a problem with I had pretty much have with the entire series, which, you know, I admit that, yeah, like that's Fatal Frame. That's what sets it apart. That's what makes it so unique. But as a horror game, I don't think it's all that effective. But the wetness thing, I have to mention the wetness thing, which is so weird. Your character gets wet, and the ghosts are able to easily attack you the more wet you are. And you have to like use items to reduce your wetness. It's really weird. Like, it's a really weird mechanic. I don't really quite get it. Maybe that goes with the storyline in some way later in the game, but it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. There's a lot of aimless wandering too. I like in the demo, I was wandering out aimlessly in this huge environment with like multiple pathways, tons of items to pick up. You can also upgrade your camera, of course, which again, super gamey. But I found like you're wandering around aimlessly. You have to like go to a very specific area in this giant map sometimes to kind of progress the storyline. But I'm trying to think, what else is there? Like the movement is kind of weird. Like it's a bit slow. Like the game is very slow paced. It's got a very slow, deliberate pace. But it's kind of relaxing in a way too. But I really do like the exploration. Didn't seem to be any puzzles in the trial version. One of the things I disliked about the original Fatal Frame is that it had those like Resident Evil style puzzles that I think are just tedious. I don't know if this game has those. I'd have to like look up reviews of the full game, which I have to mention, like Fatal Frame 5 has been getting kind of mixed reviews, mostly low reviews. But you know, I gotta say, playing this trial version, it's all right. I actually don't hate the game still. There's something about it that is kind of gripping. I don't know, maybe it's just all like the notes and just how good the exploration and visuals are. It's the kind of thing where if this was at a reduced price on the eShop, say $20, $20, I'd be like, okay, that's fair enough. But this game is, at least in Canada, $62 plus tax. That's roughly $70, and that is way too much money for this, especially when you consider you're not getting a physical product; it's just a digital release. So yeah, I don't know, the value I think is just not quite there. This game, I can't imagine it's that long either. But I'm trying to think, what else is there to say? I mean, there's not really much else to say about the game. If you love the series, if you love the Fatal Frame series and you've played every single one and you really enjoy it, I think you're going to dig this. It's it gives you more of what you want from the series, and like the actual ghost combat itself is a lot more refined than it was in the original Fatal Frame. I'll give it that. And again, how the game uses the Wii U Gamepad is really unique and cool. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about it, but I do think this is better than the original for sure. And for a reduced price, I would definitely check it out. But I don't know. I have my issues with it. But if you love Fatal Frame, this should be a no-brainer. I think in the U.S. it's much cheaper in the U.S. It's like $50, which is still a bit ridiculous considering this is just a digital release. And it is a shame that in North America we didn't get that excellent box set that Europe got. And of course, the Wii U is region locked. Fucking region locking, man. That shit pisses me off. But anyways, those are my first kind of impressions because I only played the demo really on Fatal Frame 5. But definitely check out the demo on the Wii U eShop. Let me know what you guys thought of this. Are you fans of the series? But that's it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.